handyman.
I don't know. We'll be able to tell here in a minute, probably.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Lebanon Board of Park Commissioners meeting. I'd like to call the meeting to order and let the records show that all members are present except Karen Galvin. Now, if everyone's had a chance to look at the minutes from our July meeting, I'd entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
Make a motion, we approve the minutes.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carried. Okay, is there any old business to come? Okay. Then we'll move on to new business. Do you have anything, John?
Nothing.
Okay. Do we want to report about the council from the,
Yes, I guess that could be new business, right? Yeah.
yeah, we'll make it new business.
Yeah, the last city council meeting, we got the price in for the expansion of the pool, presented it to the council to see how to pay for it, because obviously those aren't in our budget, and they said we would discuss those engineering fees to start the process of designing, moving the tennis courts, expanding the pool, and they'll discuss that at budget meetings. Our budget meetings with them are next week. We have several projects which their request was to the park board to prioritize, which I think we've had a couple lists that we've prioritized what we want done in order. I'll send those out to you tomorrow, again, just to refresh your memories in case you don't have it, but to prioritize the jobs that we want. The discussion was they were all in favor of going forward and looking into a new expansion of the pool. However, they just wanted to find out what all the projects are and what our priorities are to see which project they want to fund, or if they want to go ahead and flip a bond or float a bond for all the projects that we have, which we have several. We have that project, we have drainage project, we have a lighting project. We also have docks down at the Conservation Club that we want to do, a community center. I mean, we have several projects along with our trail system. So I have several of those engineering fees available for the council to look at. You're also welcome to look at any of the fees that we have. I'll share those with you, and just finding out if the council, how they want to go about funding these, and they want to know what the park board, park commission's priorities are. So that's where we are on that.
Okay. Well, with that, we'll go right into the director's report.
Okay, it's been busy and an interesting season, to say the least. Our pool season is wrapping up, weekdays starting Wednesday, August 12th. This will be our last weekday, and we will go down to weekends starting Saturday, August 15th. Our last day will be Labor Day, September 7th. We have still seen large crowds at the pool this season. Obviously not this week, it's a little chilly. However, we had quite a few again today. The splash pad is also very popular again this year, and the closing date for that will be announced at a later time. We try and keep that open. It doesn't need lifeguards. All we have to do is check chemicals and make sure those are tested with the state, so we can keep that facility, the splash pad, open longer. And it's been a great asset to the community. We're continuing to receive several requests for memorial trees and benches. The park is looking great with all these new additions. We just had another park bench and another 2 additional trees. We'll be planting those when it's proper time in the fall. Probably latter October is what we're planning on. We've been working with Anson Sperry, who has raised money for his Boy Scout project. This will help him get, I believe, Eagle Scout. With park supervision, he's installed a bicycle repair station pad, and he's done it here and also in Whitestown. He raised the money, and real proud of him. I had several boys out there, and they learned a lot how to form and dig a hole, and actually form it up and how to level out concrete. The kid has just done an outstanding job raising the money. There again, we helped out Whitestown a little bit too, and they pretty well did that project over in Whitestown by themselves. We were their experiment, but it was fun for all, but kid's a really good kid. He also will be installing 2 dog waste stations, and he has enough money that he raised. He has leftover money. He's going to buy a metal bench for the park system.
Oh, wow.
And those are quite expensive, so
Yes, they
real
are.
proud of him, and he's taken ownership. There was a delay in some of the bicycle equipment getting in. It's in now, just heard from him yesterday, and scheduled next week for install. So
Oh,
him and
wow.
the boys will be out, and it's really nice. If you've seen the one in Whitestown, it's very comparable to that. Really nice. 2 Girl Scouts on the same note. Aiden and Crystalline have 10 days left to hit their goal of raising money for the park improvements down at the dog park. Lastly, Outdoor Solutions was nice enough to lay that out for them and help them out with the project. Really like to see that come to fruition.
Where are they at, John? Do you know as far as, I mean, I know where their Facebook page is
They are-
money-wise, but do we know anything in regards to?
They are not close. They have 10 days and they have to raise quite a bit of money. And I think that grant is all or none. So anything you
it
can
is.
do to help these girls out, I think it'd be great for the dog park, and they really do have their hearts in the right place. It's been a tough season for everything, tough year for everything. But as far as that, hopefully they'll raise their money. They have 10 days left. I think they're several $1,000s away from hitting their goal. So anything you can do to help them out, you can come to our park website and find out what their website is to donate. Current projects, like I was discussing earlier, we're working with HWC, already have a bid in for that as far as pricing on what it would cost for their services for the pool expansion. Also, pool lighting had a Zoom meeting yesterday with BF&S on lighting for the parks. There again, the utilities has helped us out with funding that project, so they're paying for BF&S on that project. They're going back to the drawing board after our discussion yesterday, looking at different lighting as far as we were trying to match the downtown with the flutes, the fluted look, and we can go with something very similar at a lesser price. They were talking about, discussion was of boring to all the lights. I think we'd be fine with them going ahead and cutting it in. It's a lot cheaper. Also, another cost-cutting measure that we're looking at, because the price tag would knock you out of your seats, it knocked them out of their seats. Conduit, the conduit, 2-inch conduit's very expensive, so we're looking at direct bury, something to that effect. So, working on that. BF&S, another part of their group, has also got pricing on docks, so we have pricing on docks and piers down at the Conservation Club. Already have that pricing for that also. And then a bridge. There's a little island out at the Conservation Club. It'd be neat to have a bridge over there. That's just a dream, but as far as that, we threw that in there also. Baker Tilly, our park impact fees, we're almost to the finish line on that. Just had a conversation with them also a week and a half ago, so that will be on the council's plate here soon to finalize it and make some ordinance so we can go forward with getting money with new housing. Craig DeVault, also another interesting project there. It's Electrochem building down at Abner Longley on Thompson Street, very close to it. There's been a letter sent to the county to help us out with that, with some of the lien process that's going on. So hopefully we'll have title to that soon, and I can't wait to get that facility. Log Doctors, that's a restoration on the cabin. They're coming up, I think in 2 more weeks or 3 more weeks to look at it. They're very busy, and great restoration company. They're out of Tennessee. They're going to come up and give us pricing on that. We did a video virtual type of thing, but I really want them to get their hands on it, get in the basement, look at some of the structure, because I'm really concerned about where we are with that. The price they gave me was very reasonable, but I think I want their hands on it before we start writing any checks to anybody. We've had a couple other groups and they aren't interested in it. We're still reaching out to other people to try and find somebody that'll help us give us pricing on the restoration of the cabin. Little Tykes playground equipment, that's interesting. That's another project that is going to help. We're going to need funding. That foam, I don't know if you've been to any playgrounds, because we're looking, I think you all wanted to go forward with some type of all-inclusive playground equipment. And looking into the padding, the cheapest that I can find and the foam, I don't know if you know the playgrounds that have the foam where you can walk, $20 a square foot. So for a 2,000 square foot little piece, you're talking $40,000 just for the foam around there. I think it's nice. There again, we need funding, so it all is going to boil down to that. And the playground equipment itself is not going to be the expense. It's going to be the prep work and all that to go into it. I've got 3 different prices right now, another thing ready to put forth to the council to see if they can fund this. Our capital improvement money is pretty well spent for this year, so we can do possibly 1 or 2 projects out of our capital improvement money next year, but I still think the council needs to get together and see what they want to fund or will help fund. So there again, that's what we need to look at. I'll send you out our little sheet that we do every year, it seems like, and see if you all want to change any of the lineup or what have you, the priority list, what you think's priority, because our priorities do change, especially this year with the amount of people that we've had in the parks, and I can't tell you the amount of trash that we've accumulated. Instead of Monday and Friday barrel runs, we go Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and they're all full. So we got 62 barrels that we're going around town trying to get all the trash. Uptown is just ridiculous. It's normally a Monday, Friday, and actually Ray's Trash does that. We're going up there and doing it pretty much daily now because of the people eating out and not going into restaurants.
So you're doing that, or Ray's is doing it?
Ray's is still doing Monday and Friday, but we're Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all the other days we're there. They're Monday, Friday, and it's just part of it. We power washed uptown and sanitized those tables. We're trying to do that on a regular basis too. Probably not as regular as I'd like, but we're getting up there. We power washed and scraped gum off everything up there. It is looking pretty nasty. And the weed pulling, we're trying to stay up with that. We did put some flowers that need watered up there too on a daily basis. But yeah, I think uptown's looking good. I still think there's way too much plant material, especially when we got to take care of it, but that's just my opinion. Upcoming current programs, our July swim lessons went well. Other than some weather delays, we had a couple of rain days, believe it or not. About 60 kids total in the morning in our evening classes. Heard nothing but accolades for the kids there. All the lifeguards did an outstanding job along with our management to get them through the program. And we held our first pickleball tournament at Memorial Park on July 18th and had a great turnout. We had 2 winners, one for the beginners bracket and one for the experienced bracket. And we hope to do a lot more in the future. One of the winners pulled up and they were just going to play, and we had somebody drop out due to COVID. They didn't want to come out and be exposed to anything, so this couple guys from Brownsburg jumped in and ended up winning the tournament. And our honorable mayor ended up winning 6 out of 11 games, so him and his mother represented well, I guess, for the city there. I thought that was good, but those courts are a great asset to our parks. I saw them at Southside today, and if you ever drive by, they're pretty well full all the time. There's morning leagues and an evening league, and it's really good to see. Plus, we have the tennis court. Tennis courts are finishing up the high school if people want to get out there and play tennis. There again, our co-ed softball league is still running on Sundays. Tournament is set for August 16th. We've been struggling the last few weekends because it's pouring down rain on Saturdays or Sundays, so that thing's been flooded. That's another part why we need to get drainage into these parks so we can move the water out of there and have some of these leagues stay on track. The Battle of the Barbecue is Saturday, August 9th in Memorial Park. It's a drive-through event this year, so please follow the signage in the park directing you where to go for the event. I'd like your permission to go ahead and shut down 39 for a couple hours. That way, my plan is we have a pool party going on Saturday. They're barbecue, they're going to have 10 people barbecuing, social distancing. They're going to serve them on trays as people drive up. There is going to be some walk-up traffic. Worked really closely with Joy Kaler and Kathy Flannery and the health department on this. My best idea was to come around as you come in by her cabin on Northeast Street. There will be a policeman there. He'll direct either the people to go to the far right, around the back 40, I call it, and then go all the way towards the bandstand and get in that way. And then the other people that are coming, patrons to the pool or the pool party, will be escorted or sent another direction. And they'll be asking at the gate at Northeast Street. Then they can drive on out. I hope to have a big crowd for the cancer because all that money stays in Boone County. If that's acceptable to you, just to shut it down for a couple hours, we will have police there to help us out with anything.
You're just saying the gate on 39?
Just the gate on
Okay.
39 for 2 hours approximately on Saturday, this coming Saturday, if that's acceptable. I don't know if we need a motion, but I was going to go ahead and do that. There again, it's a great event. They've been knocked out on every event they've had this year, so very, very happy that the health department and everybody will let us carry on and at least get it. You aren't going to have your little samples, but please, if you can get out, help them also. That money stays right here. Unfortunately, we're not able to have our 100th year celebration due to the current restrictions and recommendations from the state and also from the local health department. We hope to plan something big for next year. There again, we had all the state requirements met, got a state fire marshal and also our local chief. All were okay with our fireworks going off at the baseball diamond, which we were looking forward to. Allison put a lot of time in. We had a band. It would have been really nice. But needless to say, COVID strikes again. And the health department really recommended against it. No band, no entertainment. So we took their recommendation and we're not having the event. Our daddy-daughter dance is set Saturday, August 29th on Seashore Water Pool or Water Park deck. Stop in the office or give us a call if you'd like to purchase tickets ahead of time. We'll also be selling tickets at the door. The dance will be from 6 to 9, include food, dancing, and meet Elsa and Olaf. Reason we're doing it outside, the school will be open, but we just feel more comfortable having an outdoor event. The health department's okay. We're going to keep it under our 422 restrictions of people coming in. We won't have near that many. We've already taken their money and we'd like to do something for them, so they're going to go ahead and go with that event. As of now, it could change tomorrow, it could change next week, but there again, we'll stick with the health department's recommendations on all that. Just trying to get something in by the end of the year. We did have the Colonial Days. I want to say that was an outstanding event. Quite a few people attended. Yeah, but they did a very nice job. Casey Sampson really did an outstanding job on cleanup and taking care of our parks. Just can't thank him enough for all the hard work there.
Was that on South Side? It was, right?
That was at South Side.
I couldn't even tell that anybody, or anything had been done on Monday.
No, I'm telling you, there were a couple horse troughs, or whatever, what do you call them, Lori? Horseshoe prints?
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say,
Footprints.
which
Footprints.
Which part of
Hoofprints,
it?
there you go. Yeah,
Which
feet
part are you
prints, whatever,
talking
I don't know. I'm not a horsey guy. No, they did very well. They had a fire down there too, which was approved by the fire chief, Chuck Batts. We got approval. Everything went off very well, and I heard a lot of good compliments about that event.
Yeah, too.
But other than that, a lot of events, we're still looking at Civil War, but I assume that will be canceled. The Civil War reenactment, Lincoln Days, will probably be canceled. Talked to Angie Moody today outside the Health Department of all places, and she's the Parks Director / everything in Thorntown. And she's trying to accommodate the Health Department in their recommendations of parade and where they'll hold their event, and she's trying to still hold it. So that's the turning leaves the same day as the Lincoln Day. And she's trying. She was going back to the table again today, and God love her, she's really trying hard. She really wants to put it out, and she's put a lot of time and energy.
What's the date for that?
That's the first weekend in October, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what ours was. I'm pretty sure hers is right on the same date. Well, I'm sure it is. It is every year, so. Yeah, I did leave a couple of reports in there I thought you might feel interested in looking at. Total sales report from June 14th, that's when we opened the pool, to the end of July there. And I thought it was very interesting at half capacity how we stood up to how we stood up to last year. I was looking at that one. Anyway, that's just the price there. I didn't have that one. I left that sheet out, didn't I? Anyway, that's our total sales. That's where we are year to date. Outstanding for 3 weeks shy of opening, so.
You remember what last year was roughly?
192 or something like that.
I think it was 193.
Yeah, and we sold 30,000 in pool passes last year that we didn't sell this year, so. The other one I thought was really interesting was this resident, non-resident twilight numbers, all this comparative to last year. And if that tells you anything right there, because you can see, yes, we're down about, 3,500 compared to residents last year, but there again, we're at half capacity. So that just tells you we are staying still extremely busy. Non-residents, compared to non-residents this year, they're again very close, within 900 or so, or 1,000. The twilight, I thought that was interesting. Everybody is taking it, or there's 500 more people, excuse me, taking advantage of these twilight hours. That's where we dropped the prices down to $3 to get in. Be surprised how many families are coming up there at 4 o'clock, and I don't know. I was really pleased with that, but that tells you the number of patrons also for the years. Thought that might be interesting, information for you. I get daily reports on how many people come in and how much money we made in concessions and all that. Our website's doing very well. We had a couple glitches that we've worked on as far as reporting, which we anticipated. Not to this level, but got them all pretty well resolved this morning after we called Civic Rec and got them all lined out. Had the clerk's treasurer. They've been outstanding to work with us on all this. But yeah, I couldn't say the website's really been very helpful. I think our communication at the top, telling people, I think we've been at capacity 7 or 8 times on the pool, and there's a red flasher across the top saying we're at capacity. People watch that, and that might be why the twilight hours, they came in knowing that our capacity had gone down. Staying healthy, I couldn't ask for a better crew. We lost didn't lose, but they're getting prepared for school. Our maintenance crew, all except for one, Tyler Hurst, but Daniel, Kellen, and the Morton boy, I can picture them. They all did an outstanding job. Part-time kids that came in, really stepped it up and helped us out. We're going to miss them. Hopefully they'll be back next year. We're starting to lose guards to the different sports that are starting back up. So it's going to be difficult. So I might ask you all to be guarding come Labor Day. So get your bathing suits out and ready to go. No, it is really tight right now because everybody's activities get really busy, and Lori Frost has done one outstanding job of managing all the different regulations and stipulations the CDC's throwing at us, Health Department, state, and I think if you've heard what I've heard, it's just nothing but compliments on how clean we are, and people from other communities just coming in saying how good a facility we have. And to think it's 8 years old and we keep it as clean and safe for everybody, it's really nice that we got to open it. And I'll end on one note. If you guys could light up, can we light this up? I got to go to the middle of the table. I want to show you this. Let's see if we can do this. Close.
They can zoom in on it.
Zoom it in. This is a circulation or a magazine I got today that has Christmas lights and all in it. And if you see,
we're on the
does
front.
that look familiar to anyone?
Wow,
Yes, it does. How
nice.
nice.
Christmas tree that the Parks Department put up that Joe Page and the city purchased. And yeah, that was on our front page. It even says Lebanon right there, but isn't that a pretty
That
picture?
looks beautiful.
That
And
does.
there's the back of it.
Oh, wow.
Is that not neat?
Very nice.
That's a little Christmas we must have purchased from this company, is what I'm guessing, or their playroom or something. Now, as far as that goes, I thought it was really cool to see that. It took me
is
by
cool.
surprise. I wasn't prepared for that, and I saw that. Boy, does that look, oh my gosh, that's ours. So, a lot of hard work again. The Parks Department, we're storing that, got it under wraps, have
It
it
is
over.
beautiful.
It
It
is.
was.
It is a pretty tree, and I think we ought to make postcards or something of that. That's,
Or a
it's really
Christmas
nice. But
ornament.
Yeah.
the guys worked really hard on putting it up and maintaining it and keeping it clean. I think they're doing a nice job uptown. They're working really hard, and I think the parks have never looked better. That's due to all the guys working there. They work really hard. But yeah, I thought you'd like that as much as I did. I thought it was pretty cool that opened that magazine, and there we are. It's like that was a surprise to me. But that concludes my report. That's pretty much what I have. But I will be sending out tomorrow or Friday just a list. If you could
Okay.
number them, and then I'll compile them and see what we go with, if that works for you all.
I do have a question for you, John.
Yes.
Can you give us a status report on what's happened with restrooms at Memorial Park?
Yes, Mr. Lastly asked that right when we came in. We pretty well paid them as far as that goes. We had a little leak in one of the new buildings, not our restroom, but we're waiting on a flush valve, believe it or not, on one of the toilets. But we're going to go ahead. I called the contractor earlier today and said, look, we got to open them, but you want to have flush valves. So we're going to put manual flush valves on them. Supposedly they're on back order since this COVID, which it is what it is. I've heard that as an excuse for quite some time. They did come in and completed the punch list about 3 weeks ago, right about the second week of July. But I didn't want to open them up until we got security to be able to lock those. I was going to leave them open 24 hours, but I think I'm going to lock them up and then open them early in the morning for my early morning, like 4 o'clock in the morning for my early morning walkers. There's quite a few people that are staying all night in them. There's quite a few that are vandalizing them. And I think if I can lock them up at a regular time, 10, 11 o'clock at night, and I kind of switch those up sometimes to keep them off guard. But anyway, I wanted to make sure those were in there, and those just got installed 2 weeks ago. So I was waiting on flush valves and talked to the maintenance, Billy Smith and Caleb Skank, and we're going to install it this week so we can open for the weekend. And they'll be open all the way from all the time, other than when we close them periodically for and that's only for security purposes and to keep some vagrants out, I guess you'd call them. There was another interesting thing that has anybody seen the playgrounds with the rope? Mm-hmm. Did that answer you, Diane? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, anybody see the rope? You know what I'm talking about, the climby. It used to be jungle gym or whatever they called it. There's a company that I was at, the National Parks and Rec. I think your husband was a speaker at one of those, Jessica. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I go around and talk to all the vendors. Well, they have one sitting in a corner. We can get it 50% off. So I'm probably going to have that installed because I have enough capital improvement money to put it in our in one of our parks. And it's a great, we'll never get that price again. And we don't have anything like that, so I thought I'd install that with some of the capital improvement money that we have left over. And that will probably be going in October, I think, is the earliest I can get them. I'll have them install it. But it was too good a deal to pass up. I know we need other playground equipment, but boy, I think they'll like it a lot, so. That's
How
the
many
only-
kids can use it at once?
Oh, boy, a bunch.
It's big,
Yeah,
okay.
probably all the
I'm
base.
trying to imagine what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
probably all the base kids. I have a picture on my phone. As soon as we're over, I'll show you, but I couldn't pass it up for the price. It was a very reasonable price. And there again, Caleb Skank's the one who has been talking to the playground equipment people, and him and Billy Smith both, a lot of conversation with different reps. We get our pricing on any playground equipment. We don't have to get 3 estimates because it is the lowest. They're all the same because we're in a group that allows us to get the pricing at the same. Like the lady that spoke here earlier this year, same pricing across the board. We're just trying to compare products and see which is the best product up there. I think, Diane, you said it before, you got to compare apples to apples, and some equipment doesn't hold up, so we're making conversation to other parks departments that they're referring us to make sure that we have the best equipment available. It sure has worked out on everything else we've done, so we are doing our due diligence and our homework, because I really didn't know until you said that, hey, you got to look at different products, and when you did, there's mills that are different. I mean, there's so many different. Anyway, you're right. I took your orders, boss. There you go. That's all I had.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks. That's a great report, and I'll look forward to that list, and we'll prioritize the projects and get things rolling for the budget meetings. And just a shout out to everybody at the park. Everything, absolutely everything they've done has been challenging this year. And especially because I think the parks are utilized so much more because we can't go anywhere. So, and opening the water park, you guys were proactive. You had everything. I know you had other park directors calling saying, how are you going to do this? And you guys had your list and done. And I just want to say, I appreciate everything that you guys have done. Everything's a challenge for everybody this year, and you guys have stepped up. I hope the barbecue goes smooth with all the drive-in, because I think you're going to be shocked at the number of people that come. I think closing 39 is a good idea because of safety reasons, so.
I thought so too.
Thanks to all of you guys for pulling together. The parks look wonderful. People are enjoying them, and pulled it off with a splash pad. Not every place opened this year, so.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's been great to see it being used so much.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
been wonderful to see families out enjoying that.
Yeah,
And we've done, like Carmel, what they're doing something different too. They don't have their lazy river open. We have a lazy river, and there again, they didn't barricade it off, but that's their problem. They also didn't have any loungers out. They're making everybody bring their loungers and their food in, and we don't allow any of that. So we kind of control everything. People are escorted to their seats. The sanitation, we have one person just going around, that's all they do is sanitize everything, squirting it down. We always pride ourselves on cleanliness, but I think this person will be in place from here on out, because I really like the sanitation and keeping things clean. And again, hats off to the pool staff and management there, Aaron Hughes, and we brought a guy in from Monon, Noah, that's working at the school now, which is an outstanding guy too, but Lori Frost done great. Can't say enough about Allison too, and she told me today, 19 days until Taylor gets back. And that girl's pulled double duty. We had a couple interns to help her out this year, but I mean, she didn't sign up for this, and with the new website, we were on there today, and with that Civic Rec, and I just, they were amazed at our numbers from our pool. They said, oh my gosh, is that a wrong number? No, and they said, so you opened your pool, and they were kind of surprised too. and
I'm sure a lot
Surprised
of
at our
places
numbers,
would
but
be.
we have a lot of transactions that go through there. And there again, Allison's figured it out and done it, and thank goodness for our clerk treasurer that's been a little patient with us through this. But yeah, Allison's done an outstanding job, and it will be nice to get Taylor back, but can't say enough about Allison and going above and beyond. That's, you
You
know.
have.
Nice job.
It is.
Very, yeah, good job. Okay, if there's nothing else to come before the board tonight, I'd enter claims. We better pay the bills. Okay, if everyone's, did you get to see the claims, Jessica? I know, poor Jessica, we're social distancing. Jessica is with us tonight over there in the corner. So if everyone's had a chance to look at the claims, I'd entertain a motion to approve the claims.
I move that we approve the claims as presented.
I've got a motion, do I have a second? Second. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carried. Now, if there's nothing else to come before the board tonight, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Thank you for joining us this evening.